Time for us to take a look through the day's French newspapers, hot off the press. Flo Villamino is here for that. Hello there. And something that we've been talking about for quite a long time, particularly this week, the issue of Sunday trading. Anyone who comes to France, they know the shops generally are not open on Sundays. That might change.
Absolutely. The Economy Minister Emmanuel Macron wants to extend Sunday trading here. Currently, shops can open 5 Sundays in the year, and he wants to push that up to 12. Now, Martine Aubry is a very important political figure here in France. She's the mayor of Lille, and she is often seen as a watchdog of the socialist dogma, orthodoxy. Here she is chiming in on what she thinks about Sunday trade. She wrote this opinion piece that was picked up by Le Monde. She said that extending Sunday trade would be a major step backwards for France. She says we really have to ask ourselves, what kind of society do we want to live in? Do we want to make buying and selling the be-all, end-all of our society? She says, let's not reduce our existence to consumption. Let us leave ourselves time to think, breathe, and live. And her opinion matters to a lot of people. You might actually remember her name, Martine Aubry. She was the architect of the very controversial 35-hour work week here in France.
And, I mean, I'm sure some people would say 12 Sundays a year, that's one a month. That's not a huge amount, is it? It's not forcing people to work all the time. But this opinion does ring true with a lot of people here in France.
That's right, especially this socialist rebellion that we've been talking about so much this year. Le Figaro says that Martine Aubry might be actually leading this rebellion. This left-wing rebellion, as we've been calling it, is essentially anybody on the left who's opposed to Manuel Valls's turn towards the center, very social democrat turn. You can see Le Figaro is talking about this. It says that Martine Aubry is leading this front, this anti-Valls front. And in its editorial, it says, this is very significant what we're seeing here. We're seeing a profound split within the left. You can see they're talking about the war of the left. It's a serious battle of ideas. On the one hand, you have social democrats that are represented by Manuel Valls, by the Economy Minister Emmanuel Macron, by François Hollande, and they're facing opposition from a motley crew that's composed of disgruntled socialists, people from the Green Party, communists, all sorts of other left-wing parties. It's a strange coalition that essentially has one thing in common, and that's that they're against Manuel Valls and against François Hollande. And Le Figaro says that Martine Aubry could be emerging as their leader.
Now, one person who's against this, very prominent, is the mayor of Paris. This might surprise some people, certainly surprises me. I feel like shops are open in Paris on Sundays all the time, but she's against this.
She is against this. She is the mayor of Paris. She's also a very prominent socialist leader, and she's also strongly opposed to extending this Sunday trade. According to L'Opinion, she's really orienting her policies for the capital away from this social democrat line. She's really focusing Paris policies more towards the left wing. I like this drawing on the front page of L'Opinion. You can see her thwacking François Hollande in the head there with a slingshot that's shaped like the Eiffel Tower. And you can see L'Opinion here is saying that Anne Hidalgo is really the capital rebel.
Indeed. OK, well, let's move away from French politics now briefly. A story that's dominated headlines this week, the CIA report on interrogation and torture, essentially. There's been a lot of very strong reaction here in France, a country, of course, that sees itself as a bastion of human rights.
Absolutely. La Croix, the Christian paper, wonders why is it so hard to eradicate torture. It says that this Senate report is yet another reminder that the fight against such abuse is endless. It talks about an ethical failure for the United States in its editorial today, and according to La Croix, it says that not only is torture morally wrong, this report also concludes that it's inefficient as a way of extracting intelligence.
All right, let's talk about one very high-profile politician who's got herself into a lot of hot water with her comments about torture. Is it acceptable? Isn't it? We're talking about Marine Le Pen, the head of the extreme right Front National.
That's right. Yesterday, she wrote an article where she said that she refused to condemn this torture report because she said that torture can be useful at times. Now, she quickly retracted her statement, but as you can imagine, it's drew a lot of outrage. Lups here says that, she might have retracted her statement, but it's too late. Her comments are out there. And Lups says if these comments rolled so easily off her tongue, it's because that's who she is. That's who her party is. It's in the party's genes. And you can see this photo here in Lups. It's Marine Le Pen and her father, Jean-Marie Le Pen, founder of the National Front. Lups reminds us that he allegedly committed acts of torture during the war in Algeria in 1957. Now, Le Monde, the newspaper, originally ran this story back in 2002 when Jean-Marie Le Pen made it to the second round of the presidential election. He attacked the newspaper on charges of defamation and lost. The judge at the time said that Le Monde's investigation was legitimate and credible.
Okay, very interesting details there. Thanks very much. Flo Villamino back in a couple of hours' time with a look through the international press for us as well.